Alright, I just start everything with alright, and for good reason. Alright tells me that it's alright. Alright. There's a couple of responses. I decided not to just memorize because everybody just reads it anyway and nobody actually looks at it. So, I wanted to focus mainly on this comment. I've read through all the other comments. There's not really much said. Most people wanted to talk about the actual, like, tone of it rather than, like, okay, everybody just wants so anyway. I think every class is power creeped except for supports, except for recently supports are power creeped, mainly because Riot wants AD carries to be very overpowered. I don't know why, but it's just a fact. They will, are, and forever will be overpowered. So, no point in really arguing with that. Anyway, so every class is, power creeped. You don't really even look at recently. How many times do you see Jax and Relia top versus how many times do you see Zac and Rumble and Shen and Kha'Zix and Zac? I said Zac. Zed top. Mages on the mage side. Look at Zed. Zed is practically just fixed LeBlanc. Let's be honest. Zed is fixed LeBlanc. Meanwhile, how many times do you see Annie, Sion? You don't. You see the old mages that were really overpowered, like Karthus and Anivia, but even them, you don't really see them that much. Orianna is really doing their job better, except for Karthus. You can't really. That passive is too unique to replace. Janen's always been the oddball. Her passive is ridiculously powerful. Yeah, Zyra's support. I completely forgot about Zyra. Zyra's another big one, because she gets so much damage baseline from her plant. Yeah, there's really a lot to say about that. In all honesty, I think supports are going to be better once they've power creeped up to the level other classes are currently sitting at. They've already done that, I think. So don't, I'm not saying we need more powerful supports, but I am saying, like, it's good to see them. Additionally, supports like Thresh, Orianna, or not Orianna, what am I saying? Thresh, Lulu, Zyra, Blitzcrank, people who can continue to get good damage, that's a good thing, I think. There's someone to talk about a little bit, but I don't really have much time, so just brief over. Yeah, duo supports tend to be better because of this and more, because their supports tend to continue to do damage throughout the game, but by endgame their damage really becomes insignificant if they don't have items. The thing is, supports in Dota can actually get items because they're getting killed. That's a big thing. Maybe they didn't want them, but they will get them. They're taking gold off a carry by killing them, so it's hard for the carries to get far ahead. Granted, once the carries do get far ahead, they'll murder a support, but two, they've got cheap good items with cheap good effects like Force Staff, the heal item mechanism. It's a big thing, but more importantly, I feel, is that in Dota, the carry in League, the carry sits there in lane all day forever, farming. It's impossible to get him out of the lane. Whereas in Dota, a lot of the time the carry can't get a farm, or he's sitting back using a health potion, or he was killed, or he went back to base, or as a support you're ganking another lane, or the carry is ganking, and there's a lot more time for the support to be able to get farm. So, yeah, that's really all the comments. Again, everybody just wanted to say this. Tanks are not supports. A support helps somebody. Nobody's playing Zac and being like, I'll support you, Misfortune. No, he's jumping into their team and jumping around. That's not really supporting her. Like in World of Warcraft, if you intervened, I would call that a support ability. I would say protection could support, because they're fundamentally, made to keep allies from being attacked while CCing them, while actually, bolstering their defenses and taking hits for them. Whereas, the most you can do in League of Legends is CC enemies. Well, that'd be like calling a mage a support. That'd be like calling Jax a support, So